Okay, Wales versus Tonga. That's another key autumn international. The Welsh under Warren Gatland have made 14 changes to the starting lineup for this game. Now, that backfire? Quite possibly. It nearly did last year against Georgia. However, in Wales's benefit, they are used to having lots of changes to a matchday squad due to injury and suspension. Look at the Six Nations. They did use their depth really effectively. They now have worked out they have depth at fly half and inside centre they didn't have before because they were forced to use players that weren't necessarily household names at international level. But I am concerned about the 14 changes. Could that backfire? Quite possibly. Watch this space. Therefore, the Welsh are probably going to be a bit more conservative in their play tomorrow. They're going to probably be a little bit more conservative and a little bit more measured in their play. That is to be expected with so many changes. That's going to disrupt a lot of combinations. Unless this was already pre-planned, we shall see. But I can see the Welsh being a bit more conservative and a bit more structured. The Tongans have no structure and they're not conservative. They like throwing the ball around and being physical. They like running the ball back. They're very good with the offload. They're very good in open, free-flowing play. Structured set plays is their weakness, but in open play, they can be lethal. So the Welsh defence has to be on the ball on this. They have to be aware that this Tongan side will throw the ball around because they've decided to keep the roof shut. If the roof was open, it actually still advantaged Wales because the Tongans like being very loose with the ball and throwing it around. If it was to piss down with rain with the roof open, that will make the ball very hard to handle. But the Welsh, for some reason, like keeping the Principality Stadium roof shut, which boggles belief because sometimes you want the conditions to work in your favour. You want to actually have it as many advantages as possible, and the weather could be an advantage, and they're not going to use it. Where the game will be won and lost is discipline. And definitely the breakdown. The Tongans don't have a lot of structure. They like thinking on their feet, so they want to have quick ball. So they can just keep the game flowing. If it becomes bogged down in a very slow ruck and maul, advantage Wales all day long because the Tongans do not have the structural discipline to have that kind of attritional battle at the breakdown or the scrum or the line-out. Their game relies on flair, power, but free running. Lots of running from deep, lots of interplay between the outside backs. The Welsh, the game thrives on structure and discipline, and especially defence. Welsh defence is, as proven against Scotland, brilliant. The Welsh defence against Scotland was brilliant. They absorbed wave after wave after wave of pressure and won the game with very little ball. So the Welsh would be happy for the Tongans to attack all day because they know the Tongans have no real structure. If there's, let's say, penalties or free kicks, we know the structure of the Tongans is not there. The set play is a massive weakness, which is something, again, the Welsh can exploit. Be it defensive lineouts or defensive scrums, they can turn the tables on their Tongan opponents. It's going to be an exciting game, mind. I expect it to be very, very high scoring. I do not expect the Tongans to be necessarily the most structured in defence either, because they like that big hit, they like that physical contact. They're going to be very quick off the line. Offside is something that I'm looking for here, with the refereeing that offside line very, very, very strictly, I could believe. If he referees it very loosely, the Tongans have a bit of advantage. But if he's very strict on the offside, there could be yellow cards. I wouldn't be surprised if they are yellow cards in this game. The Tongan discipline in the past has been horrific. I remember in 2007 against Samoa, they had 2 players sent off. The Samoans had 1 player sent off. It ended in punches being thrown. So we have seen that lack of discipline as well. They sometimes overstep physicality. And if they get behind early on, it can become a big, big scoreline. If the Tongans are still in the game by half time, anything can happen. But if the Welsh can get some early scores in and then defend and be structured, the Tongans could wilt mentally and their focus could go, and then it could all open up massively. But the Welsh have to try and keep that game tight and controlled. If they allow themselves to open up and throw the ball around themselves and give a miss pass or knock on or anything like that and give turnover ball to the Tongans, it could be lethal. So it's going to be interesting. I think the Welsh are going to win. The amount of changes made, I'm hoping this is pre-planned. If it is literally not as pre-planned as it could be an issue with the amount of changes and the amount of new combinations, but I'm assuming they know what they're doing. The Tongans look for them to try and entertain, and they could still win. Let's not underestimate this Tongan side. They all play high professional level rugby around the world. Look for them to entertain and definitely look for the big collisions and the big hits. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, place your comments below, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.